fit, Margaret. You've got to shoot it.
Hi, and welcome to this week's episode of the Whiteout Podcast. I'm Dom, publisher at In the Snow, and I'm very happy to be welcoming my co-host, Santa's answer to every elf wrapped into one, the Rudolph of all reindeer, the Love Actually of all ski movies, Rob Stewart.
Oh, that's a Christmas introduction, isn't it? Yeah, thanks for that. And indeed, once again, a grand introduction from you.
So it's a great time to give a shout out to our two charity partners, Rob. Firstly, we're proud to support Snow Camp, the game-changing national youth charity who turn young lives around with the power of snow sports. They do amazing work by harnessing the power of skiing and snowboarding to develop life skills, qualifications, and positive opportunities for over 1,000 hard-to-reach young people year on year. Do go ahead and visit our charity partner today, snowcamp.org.uk.
Yeah, Dom, absolutely fantastic charity, Snow Camp. But I'd also like to give a big shout out to the Ellie Suter Foundation, who have just announced another athlete, 12-year-old alpine skier Xavier Poynton, as a new grant-funded skier on their programme. This now means they're looking after 4 of the UK's top up-and-coming prospective Olympians, which is unreal for this fairly new charity. And go and check them out, the Ellie Suter Foundation.
Fantastic, Rob. Thanks very much.
I'm just going to crack straight into it. So this week we'll be looking at ski news. Obviously, where is the best place to ski right now? And our top trumps of resorts this week. It's the resorts beginning with C, Dom. And this week we have 2 resorts, Courmayeur, and of course it also has to be Cron, Montana. So a Swiss chocolate, we say, was a Swiss chocolate box versus Italian beauty. So who will win the top trumps this week? Let's find out later.
Yes, Rob. Yep. We've also got our gear guide where we pick out some of the coolest gear that we spotted in the last week or so. This time I thought we'd do a little bit of a roundup of what went on during 2022. Where did it go, Rob? Where did 2022 go?
That's a good idea. It sounds like we've got a packed out show, Dom, as usual, and in all in about 20-25 minutes, right? So we better get cracking.
So January was a bit of a wobbly start for the skiing in the new year with COVID restrictions bouncing in and out. But in the meantime, Mikaela Shiffrin set a new slalom world record, becoming the most successful single discipline slalom skier in the World Cup Tour of all time after winning a night race staged at Schladming in Austria. Legend. And Eddie the Eagle in January was recreated as a snow statue. I'm sure he was very chuffed to see that more than 30 years after he was a world-famous ski jumper in the 1988 Calgary Olympics. So that was a pretty exciting January. And in February, we saw the Beijing Winter Olympics disrupted when real snow arrived. Who would have thought that real snow would be a problem for the Winter Olympics? And our very own, well, Scotland's very own anyway, Kirtsy Muuir took 5th place at the Olympics Big Air Final. I expect she hasn't come down from that very high since then. And we saw some big dumps of snow in January across the Alps, which was great. We saw Simply Red performing at ischgl. And also, who could forget that this was the month that Dave Riding scored his 2nd podium in 2 months in the World Cup slalom in Garmisch. So that was a great February. March, we got a gold, silver and bronze in the Winter Paralympics. Neil Simpson won Britain's first ever male gold medal on snow at Olympics and Paralympic Games, competing in the men's Super G vision impaired skiing. Menna Fitzpatrick won silver in the women's Super G vision impaired ski race. And Millie Knight took a bronze in the downhill 6. And Ollie Hill won his first ever Team GB Paralympic snowboard medal. It was definitely a good month. It was also the month that an anonymous donor rented out an entire ski resort in Maine in the USA to open it for a children's hospice. How cool is that, renting a whole resort?
Amazing.
What about April, Rob?
Well, springtime in the Alps is always really good. The Nines kicked off in Cron, Montana, that kind of amazing freestyle competition. Lots of decent late snow fall across the Alps as well for Easter. Palisades at Tahoe plan to build a $65 million base-to-base gondola. So that was unveiled in April. And close to home, Glencoe was still open for business in April as well. So good sort of late Scottish skiing there. Just Eat spent 15 million euros to take 5,400 people, their staff members, skiing. Wow. Just Eat. Well done, Just Eat. That's amazing. What about May, Dom?
May saw the conclusion of a 96-year-old man skiing 96 days of the season. I reckon that'll be one day. That'll be you, Rob. I reckon we'll be reading about one day. Amazon released a video showing packages being delivered on skis in Austria. And the world's 5th highest peak was skied at a chart-topping 8,485 meters by American ski mountaineer Adrian Ballinger, June, obviously heading into the summertime now. Big snowfalls in Australia were announced. Mt Hotham reported 50 centimeters in 24 hours. A 10-year-old girl from Golden, Colorado was reported as the youngest person to ski all 7 continents. And into July, the world's oldest skier, George Jedinoff, turns 105. 105. Jeez. A young climber set to attempt to reach the summit of an all 14 8,000 meter plus peaks in the Himalayas, a challenge only 39 people have ever achieved. And they announced all of Andorra's ski areas would then be covered by one lift pass. So that was a good month in July. And in August, middle of the summer, not much happening in the ski industry, but Axel Svindal switches from skiing to motor racing. Obviously, as you do. A long-established hotel in Salzburgerland, village of Leogang, added a brand new stable complex ready for horse-mad skiers, ready for this winter that we're in now. And Japan, at last, relaxed their COVID restrictions, opening up skiing for winter 22 and 23. And then into September, starts to get chilly. Winter's coming. Erna Low, UK's oldest ski company, turned 90. We saw the passing of the Queen and multiple resorts paying their respects, including a Union Jack projected onto the Matterhorn. And the season started early in Sweden with the opening of an indoor slope in Stockholm. Wow. October, we're nearly there, Rob. The return of the national show, return of the national snow show to the NEC. Canada dropped all border restrictions. Les Trois Vallées, or the Three Valleys, however you want to say it, launched their own holiday company. And Tyrol Glaciers open for skiing. Peak Retreats tour operator turned 20. And of course, our editor, Patrick Thorne, released his new book, Around the World in 50 Slopes. What a legend. What a great Christmas present. Then into November, last month, we saw first tracks in Niseko, widespread early snow across the Alps, Shiffrin taking a 75th win in Levi, and new Warren Miller movie premiere, and lots of holiday hot deals were announced. And now into December, Rob, it's over to you because I'm exhausted.
That's all, folks.
What is happening in the last couple
of years? What a year. I'm just going to top that off because what was the standout thing for me, which we sort of touched on back in February, David Riding winning a World Cup ski race in Kitzbühel has to be the headline ski news of 2022, right? We will never forget that. We'll never forget that.
Absolutely incredible.
That was a brilliant roundup. That was a brilliant roundup of 2022. I don't know how I can follow that. So what is happening now? Well, here's a blingy thing. Louis Vuitton has launched a snowboard for no less than £8,000.
What?
They're only producing 100. I mean, it's daft, isn't it, really? But anyway, it was designed by Louis Vuitton's former artistic director, who, sadly died of cancer last year.
Oh wow.
I wonder how many they expect to sell. Yeah. But anyway, it's kind of, it's an interesting story. George Ezra has announced he's playing ischgl at the top of the mountain festival starting at the end of the month. Very popular musician, isn't he, George? Yeah, that'll be nice. Meanwhile, the US, they're seeing incredible snowfalls at the moment. And recent snowstorms are delivering up to 1.8 meters of snow in some Californian resorts, which is it's incredible snowfall. I'd just love to be there right now. I am in Switzerland actually right now, and to be fair, the snow's pretty good here too.
I wondered how long you were going to take to drop that into conversation, Rob.
Britain's Maisie Hill won the best trick Burton Blue Tomato in the women's section with a front lip slide. See, I didn't even know what that is. That's sad, isn't it? At the Burton feature at the Rock A Rail, part of the very first edition, which took place over the weekend. That is a mouthful, that, isn't it? Yeah. I was actually skiing yesterday with gold medal winning snowboarder Jean Simon. He was doing all sorts of tricks. I was on skis. He was obviously on his snowboard. But really, really nice to ski with a gold medal snowboarder yesterday.
Fantastic.
That was fun. So he probably did one of those front lip slide things.
Didn't
even know it. Yeah. Yeah, sad news. A major fire broke out on Sunday evening at the Hotel Le Soleil in Les Deux Alpes in France. Unfortunately, there were no injuries, but the building's just gutted. It's
Terrible.
awful right at this point of the year. You know, it's a terrible thing when that happens in ski resorts. So, you know, there could be people's holidays affected by that. Slightly more heartwarming news, that 300 Santas hit the slopes of Sunday River in Maine. It's the annual tradition in the US resort. More than 20 years have been doing that. Igloo villages have been built in Zermatt, Davos and Kutai and Gstaad, and these things are becoming more and more popular, and they get booked up really quickly. And most open on Christmas Day and stay open till Easter. So
Fantastic.
Igloo village. Good little story.
Love it.
And finally, over in Jackson Hole, Wyoming, they've upgraded their Thunder quad lift for a new Leitner Pommer lift that gets up the mountain at twice the speed, taking ride time down from 7 minutes to just 3.5. So that's a massive difference.
Oh, that's amazing.
Massive difference, isn't it? I mean, that Thunder lift was installed in 1984. So this is really significant advancement, getting people up to a very popular ski area there. Jackson Hole's a bit of a legend. That's on my list, actually. Jackson Hole. Got to go
definitely.
So that's my news roundup for this week, Dom.
Nice one, Rob. Good hearing some of that news coming out pre-Christmas, just before the bulk of us Brits start getting out to skiing. So it's
yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's that time, and you know, I've beaten you to it. I'm sorry about that, but where is the best place to go skiing right now, Dom?
Wow, well, it is definitely an ever-improving picture in the Alps, with lots of fronts moving across the range from south and west of France. Ski areas in the French Alps and in western Switzerland and Italy have all done particularly well. 2 big snowstorms since the weekend, bringing up to 2 feet of fresh snow. As a result, there's improving snow depths, and snowline levels have been dropping down to valley floor levels, meaning better conditions for low-lying ski resorts and valley runs, as well as those up high. And obviously, with cooler, much colder temperatures in some places, snow cannons have been firing. Châtel is one of those resorts that got particularly heavy snowfall and looks absolutely fantastic in the pictures. Temperatures have been super cold across the Alps over the last couple of weeks. They've increased a little, which often helps. And pictures from Les Arcs and Arc 1950 look lovely and snowy, with trees laden with snow, which always looks lovely, especially at this time of the year when it gets to near to Christmas. Les Deux Alpes, same story there, despite the nasty fire that went on. Conditions are looking pretty good, with some constant snowfall, temperatures remaining at a good level. Alpe d'Huez also looking good, 1 meter of snow at the top, and temperatures getting down to about -10. The Valais in Switzerland also looking great, with a blanket of snow coverage in time for Christmas, and the next few days favours the Western Alps. Earlier this week, we saw some heavy snow dumps in Les Muuir and Val Thorens, as well as Val d'Isère, who saw a significant dump, and Serre-Chevalier seeing between 15 and 40 centimetres of fresh snow. All great to see after a bit of a shaky start. And in the Tyrol in Austria, nice conditions on piste, not so much off piste, but it is still early days, and snow keeps on coming almost daily, which is very heartening. There's been snowfall too in the Pyrenees, at Sierra Nevada in southern Spain, and over in northeastern Europe for ski centres in countries like Czech Republic, Slovakia, Poland, all seeing some good snow. In Scandinavia, it's getting darker, with sun dropping below the horizon at Finland's largest ski area of Levi earlier this week, and not due to reappear until January the 1st. But floodlit slopes keep things moving for those skiers that are keen on the pristine powder. -10 to -30 degrees. Oh my God. It's -10 where I am near London today. It's absolutely incredible. Scotland's first ski slopes have opened for the 22-23 season last Monday, with Glenshee taking advantage of the current cold weather in the UK to open several runs, which is great. The other 4 Highland ski centres plan to open this weekend or next week. So that's great news.
Yeah, it is.
Really, the only area that has been reporting warmer temperatures than they'd like is Bulgaria, where Borovet's delayed its planned opening last weekend. Things are improving there, but at the moment, not good enough to get open. However, as usual, and as we've been reporting for the last X number of weeks in North America, they are having incredible snowstorms in Western North America, with up to 5 feet more snow reported in California. Tahoe saw a massive snowstorm with up to 100-mile-an-hour gusts of winds, which stopped a lot of the lifts, as you can imagine. South Lake Tahoe saw massive snow dumps as well. 250 miles of the Sierra from north of Reno and south to Yosemite National Park remained under winter storm warnings for more than a week. The snow has been falling at rates of up to 4 inches per hour. So it's absolutely mega. Mammoth Mountain is the first ski resort in the world to report a 10-foot base on its upper slopes already this season, and had 51 centimeters of snow that fell last Saturday. That's half a meter, Rob. Can you believe that?
Wow, that's amazing.
All the snow in the Rockies and on the Pacific coast has set the continent up for the entire season ahead, which is fantastic for them. However, it remains a very different picture in the east. Unfortunately, the warmer, dry weather up to now making snowmaking even challenging. So here too, there is some cold weather coming. There is a little bit of natural snowfall in the forecast. So fingers crossed for those guys that they get going, because there's some fab resorts on that east coast as well. And finally, Japan is also being treated to fresh snow conditions. Niseko and Hokkaido has snowed every day for the last 15 days. Fantastic out in Japan. So yeah, sorry about that. And that, Rob, is my snow report for this week.
Great news, Dom. That is a great roundup of the conditions, and amazing to hear about all that powder. I think, you know, pretty much anyone going away over the festive period is going to have a good ski holiday wherever they are going. I know the Alps, you know, there's good snow here in the Alps. I think they do need a little bit more quantity, but actually the conditions on piste are decent. So, Dom, without much further ado, should we take a look at our gear for this week?
Let's do it, Rob. Do you want to go first? What have you got?
Yeah, sure. I really like the look of the Blizzard Hustle all-mountain ski. It's a fun free ride inspired ski that can be used for touring and all-mountain skiing. So kind of like that classic category that's very popular now. Whether you're heading, you know, off-piste or charging on-piste, it should perform really well. It's a clever ski. It covers all sort of ability levels, and it's also great value for money at £599. Pretty good price point.
Yeah.
You can put a touring binding on that, or a, you know, a standard alpine binding as well, and then you've got a great setup, whatever you want. So that looks really interesting. Ski Bartlett, I believe, is stocking that ski. So Ski Bartlett in Hillingdon. I also really like the look of the K2 Mindbender hybrid touring boot for juniors. It's actually a junior ski boot. It's got the same walk mode as the adult boots, and it's heat moldable shell. It's got heat moldable shell, good solid sort of downhill pedigree boot that any I guess young bidding free rider can take them off piste safely, of course, always with a guide. And they are £255. So, you know, obviously a lower price point than the adult boots. Nice. Finally, I also really like the look of the Picture Object ski jacket. Really, really nice looking stuff. £280. It's 2-layer bio-sourced hard shell. I mean, bio-sourced, you know, we know Picture is very, very well known for all its sustainability. That's at the heart of it, heart of the company, its DNA. It's got a 2020 membrane, waterproof and breathable. And it's made from repurposed sugarcane waste, 58% of that, and recycled polyester as well. The usual, you know, super sustainable, worth a look, great color. So yeah, that's my gear roundup for the week, Dom. What about you?
It, Rob. Like it, yeah. I've got a few interesting things as well. Talking about junior skiers, I found the K2 Poacher skis as well. Really nice, poppy, playful ski for those fun-loving mountain freestyle skiers, junior skiers. It's got the shape to carve down every piece, but it's also wide enough for them to play off in the little powderer. So I think I'm going to get my daughter a pair of those. Nice. It's perfect. Yeah, it's perfect for those sort of intermediate to advanced level, full-hearted, full-going junior skiers. And not only that, but the graphics are great. It's full-on camouflage. 244 quid. It's a bargain pair of skis, that. Okay. I also like the look of Embrace Dynamic Leggings. Now, you may not have heard of that. Embrace is IMBRACE, Embrace Dynamic Leggings. They offer very good support for your knees and hips for those people that are suffering with knee pain or hip pain. I tested these out with Debs last week. She was out in teen, and she has got bad knees. And she did say, no way is it a replacement for something like Ski Mojo, but it was definitely better than just your average set of base layers. The other thing is they are base layers as well. So for 85 quid, actually, you get 2-in-1 there. Quite a nice thing to try out if your knees and hips are starting to fail at all.
Right. Interesting.
So I also really like the look of the Armada Salisbury Anorak. Love the word Anorak. It reminds me of being about 9, but that's what they called it. It's a very modern style, versatile performance jacket. It's got quite a retro look. It's a pullover shell. So it's 10,000 protection breathability with a 2-layer nylon ripstock fabric. It's articulated through the sleeves. It's got a big center chest pocket right across the middle with a zip. Super cool. You can get it from Surf Dome. It's 165 quid. It does look very cool. I'm not sure you would be cool enough for it, Rob.
No, probably not. It's unlikely.
Finally, I also love the look of the women's Cascade mock neck or the men's Cascade long sleeve base layers. They really do look fantastic. It's hard to describe. They're kind of geometric, but if you go to inthesnow.com and click on the gear section, you'll see them there. They've got all the warmth of merino with a 4-way stretch made from ZQ merino, 81% ZQ merino wool and 12% nylon and some elastine as well to give it real stretch and warmth. Great comfort. 120 quid for a top. You can get those from Ellis Brigham. They are really nice. They look quite Christmassy as well, so they make a great Christmas present. They kind of like big geometric snowflakes on there. Just so much nicer than just your average base layers that are so boring. Socks is the next thing. I'm not going to talk about socks today, but next time I've just got a pair of Stance socks. Super pleased. Do you know what? I've worn them for 3 days. Yeah, Stance.
Oh yeah, really nice.
I'm not going to talk about them today, but they are so comfortable. Don't tell anybody. I haven't taken them off for 3 days.
Oh, really?
So that is everything from me in terms of gear.
That's nice, Dom. Nice gear roundup. I probably am cool enough just about for the Embrace dynamic leggings. That might be more where I am right now. But yeah, that's really good. So we're now gonna start our top trumps results of the week. And this week it is C. And Dom, I'm on Crans-Montana, and you, which is a Swiss classic. What are you bringing to the party, Dom?
Courmayeur, a true Italian stallion of ski resorts for sure.
I agree. I mean, it's going to be a really interesting competition. I mean, 2 resorts that I love, to be honest. So
ladies first. You get stuck in.
All right. So Crans-Montana. I'm feeling pretty good about this one. Pretty smug because this place. What a gem. Location wise, it's got arguably, and I would say arguably, but I mean subjective, of course, but this view, this vista across the Rhone Valley, looking towards Mont Blanc to the west, all the way through to the Matterhorn right in front of you. And it just goes on and on and on. It's an absolutely incredible view because you're up at 1,500 meters above the Rhone Valley and you've just got this view of the southern Swiss Alps, the whole thing into France. Amazing. So the view is great. It's 180 kilometers from Geneva. A very, very easy train ride to get to. They've just also opened literally 3 days ago a refurbished funicular railway from Sierre to Crans-Montana, which gets you there in 12 minutes. It's completely eco-friendly, and it's the longest funny in Europe, the longest cog funny railway of its type. I mean, it's a very, very smart town. Amazing shopping. If you're into that kind of blingy shopping, it's great. There's over 90 restaurants there as well of all different kinds of cuisine. There's lots of 5-star hotels. There's a new Six Senses resort opening up this winter, which is going to be incredible. There's also loads of other accommodation options from 3-star, and there's even a really, really good hostel there. There's the Elia Lodge, of course, which is kind of like a hostel-y, cool place to stay, really good value for money. So, you can go there on any budget. I mean, obviously, in Switzerland, things can be a little bit more expensive, but actually in Crans-Montana, there's accommodation for all, I would say. It's got the second largest snow park in Switzerland. It's got a super pipe there as well, which is a pretty rare thing if you look up how many super pipes there are. There's not many in Europe. Great ski touring routes as well for all levels, marked ski touring routes that you can ski down on the piste as well as off piste. So, it's got everything for all levels of skier too. So there you go. Come on. What have you got?
You think you did the PR for the place? That is ridiculous. You clearly love the place. Well, my Italian stallion resort is Courmayeur. So we're just the other side of the Mont Blanc tunnel, just over from Chamonix. It's in Aosta. We're talking about 1 hour and 20 from Geneva, so about 120 Ks. So very, very easily accessible. It is a truly beautiful resort. Sophistication, mountain culture, superb dining, not to mention great skiing. It's cobbled streets, picturesque, good choice for families and couples looking for world-class class skiing combined with that traditional alpine feel. Plenty of runs for beginners and intermediates. Some good off-piste if you head up to the Mont Blanc and Monte Bianco area. And also here you can take the Vallée Blanche, which you can ski, which you can access from the Skyway Monte Bianco cable car, which has the revolving cars to allow skiers spectacular views on the journey up the mountain. So Rob, who's feeling smug now? Courmayeur, you can't beat it.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's fair enough, Dom. It's a great ski resort. I'm not going to argue against Courmayeur at all. You know, I'm just putting my resort forward. But anyway, this is a game of top trumps. So actually, what we've got to do is look at the stats.
Let's look at the stats.
So look at the stats, and then we can you know, decide on the science. What kind of ski resort is going to win this? So let's start with the resort level. I'm at 1,500 meters. Where are you, Dom?
Damn it, 12:24. You've pipped me by just a few hundred meters there at resort. Okay. Come on, that's pretty much equal.
Okay. Highest point. I mean, you could say 3,000 meters. Technically, it's 2,927 meters. What about you, Dom?
Smash the 3,000 meter barrier. 3,446.
3,446.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Okay, I'll take your word for that. Right, so you got me on the altitude front there, Dom. So I think we're fairly even right now. What about kilometers of piste?
Yep, kilometers of piste, we are 41.
Sorry, didn't catch that, Dom. Sorry, what was that?
Yes, we're not one of those mega resorts, but you know, Rob, you know that it's not always about size.
Okay, well, anyway, 140 kilometers. I think I've got that one.
Yeah, I think you got that one. Moving on. What about numbers of lifts, Rob? I've got 18.
Yeah, and I've got 19.
All right, so we'll call that evens.
Fair enough. Go on then. What's a lift between friends?
We're pretty close, aren't we?
I think we're pretty close.
It's going to get boring. People are going to think we're fixing this, but I think we were just lucky that we pulled out two good resorts.
Look, you know, let's face it, Dom. Courmayeur and Crans-Montana are both pretty amazing places, and I think, you know, so it makes sense that our schools are kind of here. But yeah, we're not competing against, you know, sort of little local one lift towns, are we?
So there we go. That's a good roundup for this week. I think we've probably done our time because I know you've got a flight to catch. You're in Grindelwald right now. I'm itching to get out skiing. I'm going to be out over New Year. Listeners, I just want to say a big thanks for all your support this year. We never dreamed of getting 2,000 downloads by now, more than 300 a week. We wouldn't be here without you. Tell all your friends if you love us. Don't tell anybody if you don't like us. Tell them to search up the Whiteout podcast on all their favorite directories. Keep on supporting us. We can't keep doing it without you. Merry Christmas to everybody. And if you do have spare time over the holidays, don't forget to listen to the interviews of some of those ski legends that you did, Rob, Bodie Miller, Lindsey Vonn, day riding, need I say more. Rob, have a great Christmas and a safe journey back. Next time I talk to you, I'm going to be in Teen, another French great resort.
Oh, yeah. Nice one, Dom. You have a great Christmas too. And should I say, you know, Auf Wiedersehen, Fröhlich Weihnachten. Well, that's Merry Christmas to you and me.
Nice one, Rob.
See you
later. Mais non, talkie-walkie.
Pretty sure it's called a walkie-talkie, mate.